It's really bad. I'm basically in at the middle of the mountains right now. So if you can hear me, that would be amazing. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm I'm basically in at the middle of the mountains right now. So if you can hear me, that would be amazing. Let me know if you can. Okay, I think you guys can hear me, but you cannot see me clearly, right? That's okay. We can work with this. Um, internet is not really good here, so you might not be able to see my picture clearly, but you can definitely hear me, right? All right, let me just pray a little bit and share with you guys a little quick what I have in my mind and in my heart. God, I thank you for today. Thank you for this short discussion, short conversation that we'll be having with One Africa family and Soil Nation. Give me wisdom, speak to me, and speak to everybody as you wish, as you want. Because at the end of the day, we want to do what you want and not what we want. I pray all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. All right, guys. It's good to be back. Okay, that's good. We can work with that. As long as you guys can hear me, I think the audio is clear, right? As long as the audio is clear, that's amazing. If you guys have seen the title of this live stream, then should I okay, you guys advise me. Should I just mute the video so that we may just have audio? I want us to decide together. Should I should I take down the video and so that we may have just audio instead of having a video as well? Because it can be destructive sometimes. So let me know. The first person to comment, let me say first three people to comment. Two, I'll go. So three. So if two they say go with the video, I'll go with the video. If one, two say don't go with the video, then I'll turn down the video. Even the comments here, they're delaying. All right, I'm waiting for your suggestion. I'm gonna do what you guys want, at least for today. Our sound is clear. That's beautiful. Okay, the audio is fine. All right, let me continue. So should I mute the video? Should I use the video or not? I'm gonna give a chance to you guys to decide for me. I'm still waiting for that. Okay, I can show you my face from time to time. That's another option that I didn't think of. Because the internet here is awful, it's bad. It's really bad. And by the way, credit to that, because you cannot imagine today I was on the mountain and I was still doing live stream. So shout out to that. Internet is not as awful as we think it is. All right. So I don't see other comments here. So let me continue. You guys have seen the title of this video. I'm here to clarify the statement that says, my tribe is African. My tribe is One Africa. Not to cry, basically to share with you guys, to elaborate more. What do I mean? Because some of you might have seen that and feel like, I don't like where this guy is going. All right. Now he's saying his tribe is African and his tribe is One Africa. This guy is trying to deny his identity. He's trying to deny his Tanzanianity. He's trying to deny his roots. What kind of guy is this? This guy is lost. You know what I'm saying? So I'm here to clarify that. His Excellence, the Chief, I'm actually at Bali. That's where I am right now. All right. Let me say this to clarify this with you. Or you could use a still picture of yourself. All right, let me see if I can do that. That's a good idea. Let me see. Let me see. That's very interesting idea. Actually, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. Let me add picture of myself. All right. What about this? I think this will be good. Tanzanianity. Yes, my brother, I just invaded that name right now. All right. So let me continue to elaborate this. But the way at the same time, guys, you can share this link with somebody because I wanna clarify something here today and explain something. Okay. What about? I guess this is the only thing I can do. All right, I'm back. Right, you guys can hear me now. Then no worries. I'm just gonna need to do this. Okay, so let me keep on going. All right. All right, so guys, I am here to explain because some of you have seen me starting writing this. My tribe is African. My tribe is one Africa. I'm gonna explain to you. Um, what I'm trying to do is this. I'm trying to be very careful how I'm explaining this to you, because so that you guys may understand me. So when we are talking about one Africa, um, it's a concept that needs to be implemented, and implementation is the hard part. Talking about it is very easy. We can all talk about it, but implementation of one Africa is really hard. That's why for 2022 we say this, that we're gonna do love in action, peace in action, and unity in action. What we mean is this one Africa we are talking about, we are going to do implementation. We're going to implement. That's basically what we're saying. That we're going to implement love, not just showing love, but becoming love. We're going to become peace, not just showing peace. There's a difference, but we are peacemakers. We are going to make peace. Peacemakers literally means people who make peace. That means you don't have peace, then you have to make peace. And who is going to make peace? Not a court, not a government, not anybody but you, because you are a peacemaker. So you're going to make peace with those you don't have peace with. Also making peace, not just with people, but also with your mind. You have to make peace with your ideas. You have to make peace with your heart. You have to make peace with yourself. Because if you're not at peace with yourself, you cannot make peace with anybody else. Not only that, let me go deeper. You have to make peace with God. Because if you don't have peace with Him, you cannot have peace with yourself. You cannot have peace with anybody else. It's a cycle. And it's dependent. And when you say unity in action, it means we are not just talking about unity, but we are going to actually make unity. We are going to actually united, be one people, one race, one human. If you see the thumbnail of this picture, I put one picture that, I was with these two amazing women wearing, all of us wearing traditional clothes. And then I wrote human, African, Tanzanian. What I meant to write is proud human, proud African, proud Tanzanian. Why in this range? This is the reason. We are all human. If you come to Africa, you go to America, you go to Asia, we are all human. So I'm putting humanity beyond everything else. That, oh, this is the only thing, I'll say that this is the only thing that we have in common. Everyone in this world, not just Africa, but everyone in this world, we have one thing in common, and that is humanity, that we are all human. So just human, that put us in the same category. And putting us in the same category, it means like psychologically and consciously, even unconsciously, is putting us together under the same category. That, oh, proud human. I'm human too. I should be proud. We are under the same category. The second phase is Africa. So we're narrowing down the gap from human to Africans. But remember, mind you, that Africans are still human. African are still human. And why I'm writing this, because at the end of the day, I'm not just saying that Africa, it should be separate right there. We should be alone right there. I don't believe that. I believe in oneness. I believe in cooperating. That's why my letter to the president of France, I wrote and I said, hey, if you want partnership, then it has to be 50-50. You have to treat us with respect. You have to know that we have something that we bring on the table, and you should have something to bring on the table, and we share profit. That's what I wrote, because I do recognize that, yes, I am African, but at the same time, I'm human. And if I am human, then I have to be united with other human. I have to be with human. And then the last part, I say Tanzanian, proud Tanzanian. Mind you, Tanzanian is still African, is still human. So what I want you guys to do right now in the comment section, if you're a proud human, proud African, or whatever continent you're coming from, and then proud the country you're coming from. Why I'm writing there Tanzanian? Because that's where I was born. That's where I was originated, right? But it doesn't change the fact that I am Tanzanian, yet I am African, yet I am human. So you can go on and on. You can go now to mention the region you're coming from or the tribe you're coming from. But you can see the concept that there is number one, there's number two, there's number three, there's number three. Number four, and it goes on and on. You can go as much as you can. So when I'm talking about human, I'm talking about big picture, we see. African, big picture, we see. Tanzania, something is start narrowing down a little bit. When I go all that way down to my tribe, it's like I'm talking about this thing, this specific thing. So when I'm saying that my tribe is African and my tribe is one Africa, what I am trying to remind you and what I'm trying to tell you is that, I have something in common with you, with all Africans. We have something in common, and that's the only thing we should hold on to, because we have been focusing on our diversity for a long time. We've been focusing on our ethnicity for a long time, our difference for a long time. And we are focusing it in a wrong way, not in a positive way, but in a wrong way. That, hey, I am this, you are not that, so I don't want you. I look like this, you don't look like, I don't want you. Oh, I worship like this, you don't worship like, you are wrong. You worship a wrong God, because I worship like, you don't know. I close my eyes, you don't. Oh, no. I kneel down, I bow, you don't. Oh, no, that's not. But at the end of the day, we are forgetting that, dang, we actually have a lot in common. Talking about Africans, we have humanity in common, we have African in common. Can go on and on to mention culture and all those stuff, but I'm going to leave aside for now. My tribe is African because I am called to fight for one Africa, to fight for oneness between me and you and everybody out there. That's my calling. That's what I'm called to do. So my job is to remind us that, saying that my tribe is African, again, it does not mean, I know the people who understand me here, it does not mean that I am denying where I'm coming from. I'm denying my ethnicity. I'm denying where I was born and my tribe. It doesn't mean that, but it just means that I'm focusing on a big picture. It just means that I want you to pay attention and to focus on the big picture, because right now you're paying attention to a small picture. And because of that, it caused division, it caused people's life, and it cost us everything. Because whatever that is happening within the continent of Africa, it doesn't matter whether it's east, west, south, or north, whatever is happening, it's affecting everybody else because we're one people. What happened in Tanzania affects here people in Ethiopia, in South Africa, in Nigeria, in Ghana. It affects them, whether you know it or you don't know it. And whatever happened in your country, it affects another country as well. So it's a language of unity. It's a language of bringing people together. That, hey guys, all right, think about this. All right, think about this. That, oh, tribe is somewhere you're born, is somewhere you're proud of, is somewhere that you love, is somewhere where your family is. Oh, think about if you say, if I say my tribe is Africa, Africa I love. I was born in Africa. My family is coming from here, and it's a big picture. It's a big picture. Like when you look at the entire world and when you look at these different countries, basically is you're saying that, oh, there's this one tribe of Africans, and there's another tribe of European, and there's another tribe of Asian, and there's another tribe of these people. Do you understand what I mean? Like when you look at the entire world. That's why in my speech I once say that when you go to abroad, nobody defined you by your tribe. Well, nobody even define you by your region. Nobody even define you by your country. They define you by your continent, because that's how they see it. They look at you and they see you as an African. Some people, they think Africa is a single country. They look at you and what they see, oh, he's an African. That's your identity. That's your blood. That's your heritage. That's who you are. And that's your tribe. You're an African. You're an African. Or maybe you've never been to abroad, and maybe you'll never go there, but that's how they see you. The question is, are you seeing yourself like that? Because it's truth. If they define you as an African, you are African. It's the truth, you are. It's us focusing on a big picture. It's helping you and everybody else there who is thinking small. That, oh, I am, for example, for me, I would say, oh, I'm Tanzanian first and then I'm African. I could be right and I could be wrong. And I think for this idea, the only people who will understand me is that those people who are dealing with ethnic problem, with tribalism. If in your country you're dealing with that, you'll understand this. If you go to Rwanda today, if we have a Rwandese here watching right now, they'll understand what I'm saying. That if you go to Rwanda, how they define themselves, how they see themselves is as we are Rwandese. I've never seen any Rwandese. I don't know. I have a lot of friends from Rwanda, but I don't even know that if they're Hutu or Tutsi, because they will never tell you that. They will never. And even if you ask them, your friendship might end. I have my friends, and once I wanted to ask, and one of my close friends said, no, please don't. If you do that, that's over. So I don't want us to go to reach to that extent, but I understand why Rwandese are doing that, because they already struggled and suffer from this thing so-called ethnicity. So if you go to the countries like that, they will understand you, because they define themselves as one people. They understand, they know that, you know what, because we didn't define ourselves like this before, we lost more than 1 million people, and we don't want this to ever happen again. And therefore, we're going to let this go, and we're going to define ourselves as one people. That's what I'm saying. That's when I look at Africa. We are losing so many things. So many people are dying. So many Human, we are losing so many people, innocent people, just because we are hanging and we are holding on some things. Some things. We are holding on to some things that they divide us, that they separate us, that they kill us. We're focusing on the small picture. We're focusing on the small picture. You have where you're coming from, you have your identity, you love it. Wow, that's beautiful. Keep it. Keep it. Be proud of it. I think it will reach a time where we'll be able to talk about that. But I realize that in some areas in Africa, it's very sensitive even to talk about it. It's very sensitive to talk about it. I'll tell you, but please don't ask us this. Please don't. Because it's sensitive. Well, there's something else we can talk about. You can say your tribe is African because you're African. Your tribe is one Africa. When I'm saying my tribe is African and my tribe is one Africa, it's because I'm looking at you guys. I'm looking at every country in Africa, man, and I see myself there. I'm here right now. You guys are seeing the updates. I'm telling you the truth, guys. The videos you see on my social medias, it's just a little glimpse of what is happening, man. Little glimpse of what is happening. I'm here 24/7. Do you know how many experiences I have? And a video that you see of 9 minutes, 10 minutes, some video I think tomorrow will be for 20 minutes. Those videos you see, it's a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? It's a little bit. It's like this. I'm sharing with you video of 10 minutes, but I'm here for 24/7. Man, I'm meeting people. I'm connecting with little kids. I came here, man. I connect with everyone. There's no person that I didn't connect with. And I don't even have to talk. I don't speak language. I don't do anything, but I connect. And you know why? You know why it happens to me? Why it's not happening to you? Because the first thing comes to my mind when I introduce myself here is I am an African. They don't have, if they ask me which country I'm coming from, of course I'll tell them. But the first thing that they have to know is that I am an African. That's what connects us. I can't speak the language, guys. I don't speak language. I don't speak language. I don't speak Amharic. I don't speak Oromia. I don't speak Tigrayan. I don't speak any language here. But you know why I connect with these people? We don't even communicate. We don't even talk. Guys, do you understand me? Like, I'm telling you something that I'm living in right now. We don't talk. We don't communicate. They cannot understand me. I cannot understand them. But do you know why we are connecting? Because we have the same blood. We have African blood. And the first thing that comes out of my mouth when they ask me, I say, I am an African. That's the only thing I introduce myself with. You might say, oh, so you're not advertising your country. I'll say this. Throughout my life, if you've been following me, you know that I am proud Tanzanian. For 9 years, the past 9 years, I lived, I breathed, I introduce, I advertise Tanzania. For those who know me, they will say the same thing. I left Korea, I always say this, I left Korea with the honorary citizenship from the government of Seoul Metropolitan Government, the capital city of South Korea. They honor me, gave me a medal, gave me a letter, gave me, yes, a big letter because of what I've done in that country. When I was there, it was the time when when the late President Magufuli started the embassy of Tanzania in South Korea. And I was there to help, to support, to strengthen that place. I was there singing all the time. There were events. After that, we opened up the multicultural place whereby the first Tanzanian to teach Swahili there, it was my friend and my brother, Sande Sokoni. And then I was the second one after him, and after me, they sent a teacher, professional teacher Swahili, to teach people their Swahili. The teacher who I worked together with at the beginning, and we wrote a book that people they read with. I left Korea. I did a multiple of television shows. You guys, you can see the videos on YouTube, a lot of them. And the only thing that they were talking about, Tanzania, Tanzania, Tanzania. And I was talking about it because when I got there, they were calling me African. And I love being African. But I realized that they don't know anything about countries in Africa. So I introduced myself as Tanzanian, as African Tanzanian. And they were very curious to know about Tanzania. I brought some of my Korean friends to Tanzania. Together we came. They lived in my house. They ate my mama's food. They bathed our water. And we were together there. 9 years. 9 years I was standing. And not only Tanzania, even Kenya. Because some of the classes that I was teaching, they were telling me this, that, oh, this is Kenyan class, but you were the only teacher who could teach, because they loved the way I did. They loved how I connected with kids. One of the advantages that I had, I know how to play guitar, I know how to play piano, and kids love it. Korean kids, they love playing piano, love playing. So I'll sing some songs with the piano, with the guitar. Let me show you. Okay, the internet is too slow, so I cannot show you guys here. But I connected with them. I was advertising Tanzania. And I did that. I didn't get anything. When I was going to sing at the embassy, singing about Tanzania, go to these festivals that we were having to introduce Tanzanian culture, doing this, I was not receiving any money. I did it because I'm proud Tanzanian. I love my country. I did that. Well, did I receive recognition? I didn't receive recognition. Do I want recognition? No, I don't want it. But I did it. And 9 years, I lived that. I did that. And now my mission, it has grown. Guess what? After 9 years, I'm coming back to Africa. And I'm realizing that I have a calling, not just for Tanzania, but for Africa. And so I don't want to limit my vision to one specific place, because I know that God has given me a voice, not just for my country, but for the entire continent of Africa. I've done my part for Tanzania. If you go today, you go to South Korea, you'll see. If you go to the embassy, my name might be there, I believe, because I did my part. I did my part to introduce Tanzania, to introduce Swahili with everything I got. But now, God has called me for Africa. I'm not denying my nationality. I will never deny. I love it. I'm proud Tanzanian. And I'll always hold on to that. But I always put humanity first. I'll put Africa first. I'll put Tanzania right there. And whatever tribe that I have that you guys might not even know, I'll put it there as well. Because I love it. Trust me, I love it. And I want us to look at the bigger picture. Because I'm telling you, man, it's being ignorant to keep hanging on things, to keep hanging on languages, to keep hanging on things that divide us and cost our lives. Do you know how many lives will be changed if we all remember that? Our ethnicity, our religions, and all these differences, they're meant to unite us, to bring us closer to one another and not to separate us. That's the reason. That's the reason that I do not know this culture, but I'm here today. I'm accepted. I connect with people. I don't speak language. We don't speak to one another, but we connect because I'm African. I see them, I'm like, I'm African. Oh, and they see me. I don't even need to say. They see me and say, hey, yes, African. We already connect. We don't even speak. We just laugh. We just hug. That's what I do. That's what I do. Do I need to be Ethiopian to do that? No. Do I need to be any type of your tribe here in Ethiopia to do that? No, I'm just an African. That's the same thing we can see each other. When you meet your brother, when you meet another African, what is the first question comes to your mind? Okay, are you asking, oh, which tribe are you coming from? Okay, you could ask that. Okay, it's okay, you can ask that. But what are your intentions of asking that? So that's what I'm trying to say, that there's no need to ask other questions. There's a need for us to forget about other questions. If our intentions are not pure, ask that question if your intention is pure. But mind you that the other person that you're asking, he might not know if your intentions are pure or not. My brother here, he shared with me something. I'll show here um on the screen. You guys can continue to see that. So my tribe, I want to remind all Africans out there that we all have the same tribe, and that is Africa. Africa is our tribe. Africa is our nation. Africa is our heritage. We're not ignoring, we're not disregarding any country, any tribe. No, that's not what we're doing. And I'm saying this because I understand that there's new people coming here all the time, and they might not understand the post I post because they're kind of weird, you know what I'm saying? You know, so, come on, Mika, you're saying that your tribe is Africa? Man, I don't know what's happening with you. I'm worrying about you, my brother. I'm like, don't worry about yourself. Don't worry about me, because I am amazing. I can go, that human. I just didn't want to go spiritual, but I wanted to say, my first tribe is all coming from our Father, Abba Father. Somebody commented. I asked that question on my Instagram, and somebody said, "My tribe is heaven," and I was like, "Good answer," because that's going deep. That we all come from the same place, and we are all going, there at the end of the day. If our Father is one, why are we divided? Why are we fighting? Why are we killing one another? Why are we? Why are we? There is no reason. Humanity, African, whatever country you're coming from. That's when you look at humanity, that's what unites all of us as human beings. When you look at Africa, that's what unites us all as an Africans. When you look at the country, that's what unites you, because you still need to be connected with your people in your country. I can start this. You still need to be connected with your people in your house. No, you still need to be connected with God, with yourself, with your family, with your neighbors, with your city, with your country, with your continent, with this world. Can go like that. I really want to make, a graph, like, to show, like, right here there's a you, and then your family, and then your country, and then your whatever, and then whatever, and then whatever, and then go all the way to the outside. That's what we need to be reminded again and again and again. And I'm telling you, my brothers and sisters, one Africa is possible. One Africa is achievable in our generation. It's achievable if we decolonize our mind. It's achievable if we forget, we let go of things that doesn't really matter. There are things that are personal to you, to where you're coming from. Keep that. Cherish that. Do with everything you can. If you want to share with somebody, share it, because it's beautiful to share. Sharing is caring. Do that. But let's look at the bigger picture. Let's choose what is our priority. My priority is one Africa. That's my priority, is to see one Africa. You know what I'm fighting for that? Because I am coming from Tanzania, and Tanzania is one. Tanzania is United Republic of Tanzania. We have that. If we didn't have that in my country, I'll be fighting for that today. Do you understand what I mean? I'll be fighting for one Tanzania today if we didn't have that. If I see any element of religious backlash between one and another, I will speak about it, because I want my people to be one, but we don't have. They're united. We are united. We might have different background. We may have different, but they are united. And that's why my mission is for Africa. That's why my mission is for Ethiopia. It's for Somalia. It's for Nigeria. It's for South Africa. It's for every single country in Africa to see a one united country here in Ethiopia, to see a one united continent, Africa, to see one united country, whatever country I come from, in Congo, in South Africa, in Ghana, in Nigeria, to see a one united, because I've seen a united country, and I've seen what happens when the country is united. I've seen it. I've lived it for 20 years. I've been in Tanzania. I've seen, I lived it, I breathed it. I did it. In my room, the first room I was living, it was like this big room. We had like 50 different people living together in high school. And all of these people, they were coming from different background. In my bed that I was sharing with somebody, they were calling me pastor. I was sleeping up here. I'm coming from different southern part of Tanzania. Down here, this guy, they were calling him Shehe. Shehe is very dedicated Muslim. He was sitting down, like we are living together in the same bed. This guy right here down, you know who? He's coming from another side of Tanzania. Another side of Tanzania. But let me tell you this. When I was going to church to pray in the morning, he was going in the mosque to pray as well. And then we come back, we say good night to one another, we sleep together. We start in the same class, we sleep together in this big, but the whole entire room, there were different people from different tribes. Man, it's beautiful. Like, you know, the way that Tanzania, it was sending people to school, and shout out to Tanzania, man. Like, I'm coming from this tribe, you're coming from that tribe. It was sending like people from everywhere throughout the country. I'll tell you the truth, man, that's what it was doing. Recently they changed. Right now they changed because there's no issue of tribal, there's no issue of that fight. But you know, for a long time, even when I was going to high school, what they were doing, I'm coming from the southern part, I've been sent to eastern part. The eastern part, they've been sent to southern. And then you have one school of pretty much, you have the whole Tanzania in one school. Shout out to Tanzania. They did pretty well since Kambarage Nyerere, you know, started with the language. And up to this right now, I mean, to a couple of years when I was going to high school, man, people, they were sent from everywhere. Even right now, they still send, but majority of people, they're studying according to their location. But that's because there's no issue of tribalism. There's not that issue. You have to study with someone for 2 years. You don't have any choice than to get along with them. That's how they did to survive. That's how Tanzania did. And I've seen that. I lived there for 20 years, guys. For 20 years. Okay, let me go too personal. We had a family of only 5 people. And then many people, like our brothers and sisters, we came together, our cousins. I mean, in Swahili, it's more close, but in English, I can just say our cousins came, and then we were like 12 different people. We were only 5, but we had 12. Didn't have money, didn't have anything, but we lived like a family. Not like, we live a family. That's how we lived. Share everything equally, loving one another, doing everything. If there's a meat in the house, we all get 1 pieces, each one of us. If I get bones, other people, they're getting bones as well. If I get 1,000 shillings, everybody get 1,000 shillings. If we don't get, nobody gets. That's how I lived in my family, in my country. And I want to see that in every single country in Africa. I know it is possible because they wanted to divide Tanzania too, but it didn't happen. There are people who want to divide Tanzania right now, but it's not happening. And when I'm saying people, I'm not just talking about outsiders. I'm talking about insiders, because those are the dangerous ones. The real enemy you're fighting for, the real enemy you're fighting with are your family, people that you're living with. Those are dangerous because you don't even see it coming. You smile like, but you know they don't. That's their heart is like this. And their faces are like their heart. I want you to understand why I'm fighting for one Africa. I want you to understand why I love these countries in Africa. I want you to understand why I want to see one Ethiopia, why I want to see one Nigeria. Do I think I'm going to save this? I don't think I'm going to save any of these. Who am I? I'm not Jesus. Only Jesus is a savior. And I'm just a messenger. I'm just a messenger. Like, to tell you the truth, let me show you this. Let me first remove this because I don't want to advertise any water company here. I'm just like this. This is me, guys. Take a look at this. This is me. Don't hate a messenger. Hate message. Hate it. But you know why you cannot hate it? Because it's truth, and you know it's truth. So you end up hating a messenger. And you can try labeling me. And you can try saying all this stuff. Or not only me, but anyone out there who's speaking that. And you can try even kill this person. But this guy is just a messenger. There's a message inside of him. And this message is not just inside of me. It's inside of you guys, 107 people who are watching here right now. I'm just a messenger. And what I do, I bring message. And that message is water. What you got to do is drink it in. That's beautiful. It feels good. Drink the message. Drink the message, people. Just keep drinking the message. I still have message. Still got a message in me. Keep drinking it. Still got a little bit. And I'll tell you what will happen. Once you drink all the message that I have, this is what will happen. I'll be gone for good. Because I've done my part. Because I have already shared all the message I was supposed to share. Oh, that's the little message in here. That's when you see people are dying. They're going away. Because they've done their part. Oh, I'll go back to be with my Father forever because I've done my part. I've done my part. So you can hate messenger as much as you can. Just like people hated Jesus. I'm not Jesus, guys. I'm not comparing with him or any other messengers you know out there. Prophets, all those prophets we know. They hated them. They killed them. The same thing has been happening over and over and over in Africa. Our heroes, our leaders who fought for independence, some of them even they died recently because they hated the messenger. But I'll tell you this, you will never kill the message. The messenger will die. They will die. I will die one day, but the message will live forever. You can never kill that message because that message, the messenger is not the one who bringing the message. He's not the one who is making that message. He's not. He's just a presenter. But that message, it comes from the creator of heaven and earth. He has got the message. And there's this one song that he's got the whole world in his hand. He's got all the message. And what he does, he's the big guy up there. He has the message, and then he's just putting to different people. He put it in Sankara, put in Kambarage Nyerere, Haile Selassie, put in Kaunda, Lumumba, he put on Mandela, Mugabe, he put on different people. And today he's still putting on these other guys out there. You guys who are watching, just putting those messages. It's all over the world. You're born with it. You're born with it. And you know what? All those messengers, they give their message, and once it's done, they're gone. Why? Let me ask you this question, guys. Living long is not just a blessing. I'll tell you this. Living long is not just a blessing. Sometimes you live long because you haven't done your mission. You haven't fulfilled your purpose. You haven't done what you are called to do. So you're still living because you need to figure out, you need to do your mission before you leave. You know what I'm saying? You can't run away from your responsibility. That's why there are people in this world, they try to kill themselves and they fail because they have message in them that they have to deliver. So living long, sometimes maybe it's because you're not living your mission. We are all scared to die, but all of us will die one day. And those people that will say, man, that guy, he was really good, but good people are dying early. Why we name them as good people? Because they lived their life out. Because they lived, they fulfill their purpose, they shared their message, and their barrel, it's empty. So they can't share anything anymore. That's why they have to leave. Because when they leave, it's like they're sealing that message that, everybody start to paying attention of the message that they gave. So myself, even when I look at the late president, dear John Pombe Magufuli, this is what I will say, guys. In 5 years, things he has said, things he has done, you will all agree that he has done his part. He's done his part. So let me tell you this. Don't run away from your responsibility because you're scared of death. Don't ever run away from your calling because you're scared of death. Because most of y'all might think that if I start talking about One Africa, if I start talking about this, I'm going to be a target. If that's what you're called to talk, if that's what you're called to support, go ahead and do it. Because that is your calling. That is your purpose. And one day, when you die, you'll go before God, and God, he will give you a crown, and wipe away your tears. Tell you, good job, my good and faithful servant. That's what he will do. He'll give you a warm hug because you've done your part. Africa, I'm asking you all to do your part. I'm asking you all to do what you're called to do. I'm asking you all, and these are things that you're called to do. You're called to love one another. You're called to love your stranger, to love your enemy. That's the hard part. You're called to love your enemy. You're called to be a peacemaker, to make peace with everybody. Whether they've done you wrong or they haven't done you wrong, you're called to be a peacemaker. Guys, do you understand the meaning of peacemaker? You make peace. Guys, you are making peace. You make peace. Are you making peace? We are all human. We are all human. And you're called to be one. This is what we're called to do. Life is very simple. Love, make peace with everyone. And I'll tell you, you'll see unity. Yes, it's hard. I'm living it. It's not easy, guys. Because you're making peace with people who think you're a piece of shit. You're trying to make peace with people who think that you're just naive. You're just manipulating people. You're trying to make peace with people who think you're a loser. You're trying to make peace with people who don't want to make peace with you. I didn't do everything right in my life. And making peace is always difficult because you look like an idiot sometimes when you want to make peace. And I'm going all the way in. I do that. I don't care. Someone is asking here, life, are we making peace? Guys, making peace is not easy. You don't need peace organization to make peace. No, you need to make a choice. And you need to understand this. To understand this, that you are a peacemaker. You're not a troublemaker. You are a peacemaker. That is your title. That is who you are. That is who you are created to be. You are created to love. You're created to make peace. That's not only my mission, that is your mission. Maybe you don't understand about One Africa. All right, forget about One Africa. But remember that you're called to love one another, to love your enemy, to love those who hurt you the most. Why loving them? Because you're a peacemaker. You make peace with them. They did you wrong, but you're going ahead and to make peace. If every and single one of us, we think, we decolonize our mind and we understand who we are, I'm telling you, man, I'm not going to wait for you to come to apologize to me because I'm going to come to apologize to you first. You're not going to wait for me to come to apologize to you because you're going to come to me and apologize first. And imagine what's going to happen. The moment I'm coming to you and you're like, I was just coming to you. I'm sorry. Oh, I was just about to say sorry. I love you. I love you too. That's how it's supposed to be. Because I am thinking, you're thinking that. You know that I'm a peacemaker. I need to make peace. Let me ask you this one question. Who is your enemy? I want you guys to answer me right now. Who is your enemy? Define enemy. Who is your enemy? Don't look at the dictionary. Don't look at you. Don't look at what somebody says. You yourself think and tell me, who is your enemy? Tell me right now in the comment section. Oh yes, you can. Somebody already go say it's Satan. Okay, that's beautiful. Say Satan. When I say love your enemy, guys, if your enemy is Satan, don't love Satan. That's another case. But what I'm trying to say is, who is your enemy? Satan, yes, good. It's a good answer. But I want you to think a little bit deeper. Like, who is your enemy? Why Satan is your enemy? You know what I'm saying? So when I'm saying who is your enemy, I mean define enemy. Like, who is your enemy to you? Someone is a big corporation. You're still not defining the enemy. So, for example, you can say my enemy is you, Mika. But it's an easy answer. I want you to think and to define enemy. Who is your enemy to you? Somebody say probably myself. But why? So when I'm saying who is your enemy, you can mention Satan, but why that person? Why Satan is your enemy? Why poor life is your enemy? You understand? Jim Shandan, he said, you are your own enemy because you limit your potential by low self-image. I like that. I like that. So if you think that you are your own enemy, then this is amazing because you limit your potential by low self-image. All right. Who is your enemy, guys? Somebody says life. Why life is your enemy? That's what I want you to answer. Like, elaborate. Who is your enemy? Someone is saying gravity because it's holding me down. Gravity because, dang, this is very interesting answers. I say this because of you, Senu. Senu, I want you to answer that question as well. I say, I don't know about loving your enemy, but I'll definitely keep my enemy close. I will maintain good relationship, especially with my enemy, to keep an eye on his move. That's beautiful answer. But I also want to know from you, Senu, who is your enemy? Why? That, like, when you think about your enemy, who is your enemy? Trying to avoid to answer the common answers like, oh, I heard that enemy is yourself. No, but like, you look deep inside within, think first and look inside it. Who do I have? Any enemy? Do I have? Look at everything. Look at yourself. Look at everything. Who do you define that is your enemy? Like, who and why? That's my question right there. We are going to critical thinking right now. Somebody says, I am my own enemy. Frau Gudeta, I am my own enemy. No one hurt me like I did to myself. It's my negativity. It's my negative mind that stopped me from achieving my dreams. I can't point my finger at anyone. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Let me put this here first. Okay? That's beautiful answer. Let me see this. And there's a place, because I wanna help. I wanna talk something with you, Senu, and everybody else. For those who are having hard time to love their enemy. So for the case of Gudeta, her or his enemy is himself or herself. I don't know how I can define you. He say, I am my own enemy. No one hurt me like I did to myself. First of all, I couldn't agree with you more in that part, because even if I was hurt before with somebody, but I take full responsibility for the decisions I made, for things I've done. So before pointing fingers at anyone, it's myself, right? That's what she's saying. My negative mind and stop me from achieving my dreams. I can't point my finger at anyone. So let me ask you this question in Gudeta. Gudeta, do you love your enemy? And in this case, enemy is herself. We're having a healing session today. Gudeta, do you love your enemy? If you do love your enemy, that's an amazing thing to do. If you do hate your enemy, that means you hate yourself. It means you don't love yourself. And if you don't love yourself, You can't love anybody. You're not capable of loving someone if you don't love yourself. Start with yourself. All right. I'm going to continue to read. I don't have enemies. Samira A says, all right. So for you, the case of loving your enemy is not simple. So GB say the Western elites. All right, that's very interesting. That's very interesting answer. They're your enemies. I don't even want to ask why, because I think I know. I think I know. Unless if you have a different answers from exploitation and colonialism and all those stuff, then feel free to share with me. Oh, this is deep. That's deep. Somebody says lack of knowledge. Anyone or group that tries to make me feel less than or like to keep my people suffering. Okay, Sarah, let's go with Sarah. Sarah says her enemy is a group that tries to make anyone or group that try to make her feel less than anyone else or like to keep my people suffering. So her and her people. I'm thinking about love. I'm thinking about the word love because I remember last time on my speech I said, I don't need to know you, I don't need to understand you, I don't need to see you to love you. I love you because you are me. You're African, I'm African. I love you. And some people, they might listen to that statement and think that, man, how can you love people that you don't even know? And I'll tell you this, I don't even know myself. Sometimes things I do surprises me. It surprises me that, man, I can't believe I did this. Do I even know myself? And most of us, sometimes we don't even know ourselves. We don't even know what we are doing. What I'm doing right now, I just know that I'm living my calling. I'm emptying the bottle it was full of water. I'm emptying it. So me saying I love you is not just a word, but it's because I do understand that we are all human and we are called to love one another, regardless of anything that happens. You guys have seen my response to the haters, my response to people who always constantly attack me, some of them here on public, some of them not on public. But my response has always come out of love. But I gotta admit, sometimes it gets me, and like I wanna respond in a way that is gonna beat that person down. But all the time, I would start writing something and then I would stop and then I would start reflecting and think. And then I'll write something else that is out of love. Because that's what we have to ask ourselves. That the reactions we do, things that we do, is it out of love? And I know that it's okay. I now say this, guys. I always say here we put God at the center. Let me just say this to make it simple, guys. We cannot be able to love, to love, to love, guys, without the help of God. We cannot. I'm not gonna run around the bush. You cannot. And ask yourself this: if you do believe in God, then you can do it. You can do it. Because the only thing you have to do is to ask Him that, God, help me to love my enemies. I don't know how to start, but help me to love them because you have asked me to love them. But if you don't, you'll never be able to love. Never. Because not with this own mind. We can't. Because the love is not just a concept, it's not just a word, but love. God is love Himself. So if you don't have a relationship with Him, you're incapable of loving. I'll tell you this: you can love to a certain extent. You can love to a certain extent, and other things that will never make sense to you. They will never. They will never. They will never. They will never make sense to you. For example, love your enemy. It can never make sense to you. Let me tell you this: This is what, for all, I'll say this. This is what the Bible says. The Bible says this: whoever try to be friend with the world is the enemy of God. And whoever tries to be friend with God is the enemy of the world. That's the scripture in the Bible. It says that. So if I want to be friend with God, I'll be enemy of the world. And if I want to be friend with the world, I'll be enemy with God. Do you understand that? God is love. Love is not a concept. It's not something. It's a living, breathing thing. It's a living, breathing thing. It's something that you experience. I love, the reason why I love, because I know how much I'm loved. And I don't know fully. I can't pretend that I know fully. I don't know fully, but I know how much I'm loved. That's why I love. And mind you that I know how much I'm loved, and I know how ugly I am. And I know how friendly I try to be with the world. And I know that when I am trying to be friendly with the world, I am enemy with God. This concept might not make sense to other people, but when you're talking about friendly, not just friendly like this, but like being able to say yes to, to say no to God and to say yes to something else, because you're either pro God or you're against Him, right? So if you're against Him, that means you say no to everything that He says, and you say yes to everything that He don't say. That's what it means to be friend with the world. You're enemy with God. If you're friend with God, you're enemy with the world. So I know how ugly I am, and I know how much I love to be friend with the world. And the fact that I'm the friend with the world, I am enemy with God, but yet He still loves me. Yet He still cares for me. Yet He still gives me this oxygen that I'm breathing right now, and I'm still here. And thankfully, my cup is not empty yet. It has some water. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So I understand how much I'm loved with all the ugliness, with everything I do have. Who am I not to love someone there who is as ugly as I am? And I'll tell you this, guys, we all struggle with something. You might point fingers at someone, but you struggle with something, and you know that ugly part of you. All of us, we have that ugliness part in our heart. Some of us, it shows more. Some of us, it doesn't show because we are really good at covering and hiding, and we don't know. But I'm telling you, if people, they will see you for who you are, they will hate you. If people, they will see me for who I am, they're not going to praise me. They're not gonna say, "Oh, you're a hero." They're not. They're gonna be like, kill that guy, cast stones on him, stone him. What kind of guy is this? That's what they will do. That's what they will do. But we all have ugly part inside of us. Some of us are good at covering, some of us we're not. We're not. So the question is, when you can love someone who is ugly, not ugly in facial expression, in actions and everything, then who are you? Are you that clean? I don't want to be hypocrite. I'm not that clean, guys. I'm not that clean. That's why I love you. I love everyone. I love everyone. I'll say that until the day my cup is finished. I'll say that. And I'll leave that. Because I'm not clean. Well, there's so many comments here, and I cannot go through all of them. I was meant to, I meant to be here for just a short period of time, but I end up being here for all this long time. But I hope in this session, I hope in this session it gave you something, guys. Yeah, I really do hope. I see I have a message here. All right. I have my brother here. Let me Let me bring my brother. Maybe he will share something here with us, and um then I'll leave with you guys. Okay, my brother, I'm sharing right now. It's been a long time. Oh, let me read Frau here. Let me see, because I put your comment here. Frau say first discover ourselves, self-awareness, find out what our potential are, cleanse our mind from negativity. And so you're right, Mika. You can't love anyone if you can't love yourself. I just realized that recently. I always wondered why people distance themselves from. All right, I cannot figure that. Sanity, I see him. So I strongly believe in God, in the Creator, but I don't follow the indoctrination of forgiveness and love your enemies. I will forgive, but will never forget. I will forgive for my own self healing. All right. Um, so you don't follow the all concept of forgiveness and love your enemy. Okay, I'll say this. I'll say this. This is hard to say, but I'll say it. Brutally honest, right? I love this. I love this. 2022, brutally honest with one another. I love this. I'll say this. I love the fact that, Senna, you said, I strongly believe in God, in the Creator. This is really good. Senna, it's really good. I love you. And look at what you said. You say, I strongly believe in God, in the Creator, but but I think you know where I'm going with this. But so okay, well, I can say this: whatever comes from but, it means what comes from but after but is more important, right? It's like you say, I went to the market, but I didn't find a car. But it changes everything that you said at the beginning. So I believe that you strongly believe that the God you believe in, he wants you to forgive and he wants you to love your enemy. I know you strongly see the connectivity, the connection between God and forgiveness and enemies and loving people. Just loving people, let's say. Because people, even those enemies, they are people, right? I know you see that connection. That's why you say that I strongly believe in God, in the Creator, but so when it comes with God, it's either all or it's either half. It's either nothing. You can't believe partially and leave the rest of it. It's the whole package. It's like it's like us. I cannot just love Tanzania and not and hate another country in Tanzania, Kenya. It's the whole package. It's either I love Tanzania and Africa, the whole package, or I don't love at all. If I say I love Tanzania, Tanzania is Africa, then I'm saying that I love Africa. If I say I love Tanzania and I hate another country, I do not understand that Tanzania is Africa. So if I strongly believe in God, in the Creator, but I don't follow, and okay, it's beautiful. I'm trying to just elaborate here the message that you share. I love that word that but I don't follow. So you understand that you believe strongly in him, but you don't follow. So in another sense, you believe in him, but you don't follow. And all of us, again, I'm not putting here to judge anybody. All of us, there are certain things that we don't follow. This is not just a case of, one person. It's a case of all of us. All of us. You can ask a lot of people that we all will say this, that we love God. But there are things that we are still struggling with. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay, because when I look at I don't follow, I see it's your choice. You choose not to follow. Forgiveness, you choose not to follow. Love your enemies. You choose not to accept that yet. And it's okay, because the time will come. The time will come and you'll choose to follow. You will make that decision. So push until something happens, right? Keep pushing. And I appreciate Senu for being honest and for just putting yourself out there. And again, guys, this is the free judgment zone. I hate when people, they judge each other that, oh, we know that person is that this and this. No, it's a free judge zone. We have to be brutally honest with ourselves, and this is how we can be brutally honest with each other. All right, let me read this another one. I'll read the last comment from you, Seno, because I know where you stand with this. When you become too much religious and follow the Bible that was written by humans that don't look like us, I'm sorry, can't subscribe to that. I'll say this again. So for me, myself, I know myself that I am not religious at all. And again, I like the fact that you use this word, when you become too much religious. I'm not religious. The truth, if I was religious, I wouldn't love Islam, Muslim. I wouldn't even go to school to study Islam for 1 year. I wouldn't love Buddhism. I wouldn't love those people who they don't believe in God if I was religious. Because religions, most of religions out there, most of them, that's how they teach. That's how they teach, that I am better than you. What I believe in is better than what you believe in. I am right and you're wrong. Most of them, they believe that. I'm not religious. I love God. I love Jesus. And I hate religion, because religion divides people. I still go to church, but it does a difference to be religious and to just love God. Because when you love God and when you love Jesus, in my perspective, in what I believe in, then you will try everything, your best, to do what he loves, to do what he wants you to do. And that is for me to forgive, to love. I'm not forgiving because someone told me to forgive. Oh, I'm forgiving because I am forgiven. Again, I'm repeating that. I forgive because I am forgiven. So it's just a matter of perspective of how I see forgiveness. I love because I am loved. I don't love because somebody came and told me you have to love your enemy. No, I love because I experience love and I know I am loved. I forgive because I experience forgiveness and I know that I am forgiven even before I commit anything. And because of that, I forgive. Do you understand? I don't sit down to read. I don't read the Bible like a book and say, I've been told to forgive. Oh, yes, I'm going to forgive. I've told to love my enemies. Yes, I'm going to love my enemies. No, that's not what I'm doing. So religious, that's what they will do. You see, religion, that's what they will do. They will, that's it. They'll read like a normal book. But all this, it's not a normal book. It's not a normal book. I love because I'm loved. I forgive because I am forgiven. That's why I say we don't just show love, we have to become love. We don't just have to make peace. We have to be peacemakers. That's who we are. That's our identity. So it's difficult to forgive if you haven't experienced forgiveness. If you're struggling with forgiveness, go back to your life, go back to this, go back to every, just think through, and then you realize that maybe the concept of forgiveness is hard to me because I didn't feel like I'm forgiven. I feel like I'm guilty all the time. I feel like there's something I've done wrong and I'll never be forgiven. And because I feel like I'm not forgiven, then I don't forgive people who hurt me. It always come like that. People, they don't just say, I don't forgive you. No. It always come from that. If I'm struggling with love, and because there's one area in my life that I'm still struggling with. And the best thing you can do is pray. That God revealed to me why I cannot do this, why I cannot do that. All right. I have my brother here, Big E, and my brother right here. My brother Big E.
Man, you got me in on the hottest topic. Good morning for you. Good evening to all of you. And good afternoon. Boy,
Yes.
you got me in right on the middle of
Mm,
what everybody's asking because we're
mm,
all human. One of
mm.
the beautiful thing that you said, Mika, it's always good to see you. I didn't talk to you in a while.
Yeah.
Um, there's a lot of bread to be made, and at the same time, other breads that can be made for Africa. So
Mm,
I thank you, first of all, okay, of you being brutally honest.
mm,
And we're going to go to the root of this conversation
mm,
that at the beginning I said we all get to know each other in
mm,
every facet of us, being brutally honest in order to have this One Africa movement in the right path. We're all
mm,
gonna have difficulties in different things that we want to
mm,
achieve, but we were gonna be eventually focused into that movement. When you said that you are African in and out,
mm,
that is from your native nation where you're born, from within the nation, within the tribe. Your
mm,
tribe is African. Once we said Africans,
mm,
all of the above are included. They,
mm,
it's like a spice. You got pepper, salt.
mm,
Okay,
mm,
they're two different things. But at the
mm,
same time, we have the pepper and salt mixed
mm,
in our being. Okay,
mm,
and accepting on this one Africa is the foundation that you are African in and out. From DNA, if you really look at it to DNA, African are very distinguished. And in fact, when it comes to the white world, they said you got one drop
mm,
of African descent, you're
mm,
black African. That's how they said, right? So you don't need to really prove uh,
mm,
how African you are. I mean, it just anybody that's gonna question that, they have to
mm,
rethink. Or maybe we got a difference of not understanding with the science that shows us being in the DNA. And when you said your tribe is African,
mm,
right or wrong? Yeah, your tribe is African. Your
mm,
nation that you're born in is African.
mm,
If anybody is going to tell me that Mika is from Mars, then I
mm.
start suspecting my brother in here. Okay? Everybody's talking about Mars. We're
Mm,
still working on Earth. So, Mika, my brother, uh, I'll tell you everything that you're putting out there is brutally honest and it's you're making it happen. And when you do make it happen, people can split hair on their own definition, Maybe it's a language barrier, maybe not understanding your true soul of what Mika wants to achieve. All
Mm,
that is very important to everybody else. Okay.
mm,
It means that we are one to begin with. Whether you
mm,
like it or not, if you're going to talk about the continent, if you want to talk
mm,
about who we are Africans, and we are going for the Africanism,
mm,
regardless of religion, regardless of who we are, especially religion. I always mentioned it on in our topics that it's
mm,
personal. Religion is
mm,
always personal. We can define it in any which way. Man wrote it, God wrote it. It doesn't
mm,
matter. Jesus has to get 12 disciples in order to make it happen who he is, you know? And
mm,
they even put so many things. Just look at it. If you really want to analyze from the religion and deciphering it, go to the basics. But again, for me, I don't want to entertain on the religion aspect of it because religion has its own divide. And by now, I think we got so many tools in our hand that
mm,
we can identify, where our differences comes. It should not be important just because of religion divide. Oh, the white man wrote the Bible. No, I'm sorry to say, the black man wrote the Bible.
mm,
We're the one that wrote the Bible. It's just the way certain things was translated and it was wrong. That's when you
mm,
have a problem. Okay,
mm,
everything. If you look at the in the Quran, everything,
mm,
even if the Hebrew, if you really look at it, and it goes all the way to Queen Sheba and going back in their
mm,
time, and the way things are interpreted, it's just so different, and it emboldened so many other things where people start talking about religion. So, for me, if you really want to have one Africa, we got
mm,
to forget about tribalism. We got to forget about the religion divide. We have to be
mm,
one in one in
yeah.
oneness all
Mm,
together. So a lot of people comment on, oh, I've heard it from even my own household
mm,
about a biblical aspect of it. Like I said, I have half Muslims, half Christian families, and guess what? He
mm,
says Bismillah when he do that, and I'd say Basma. That's how we're gonna share whatever that we're
mm,
gonna share. We
yeah.
respected each other, and my ancestry says, first is your blood.
Mm,
Because if your blood is not together, you think God is going to look at you or Xavier is going to look at you. Oh, they even have it. I created you equally. He's
mm,
looking at you. And always,
mm,
when it comes to religion, okay, be atheist. Okay, be an atheist. That's your choice. But
mm,
again, when it comes to a movement, I don't want it to be an hinder. Because of
mm,
religion. This is what got to go through the Muslim, the Jew, and the Christian. These are really the three major. But if you really look at it from the population, we got Buddhism and we got Hinduism. We got so many
yeah.
other religions and we cannot afford entertaining religion in one
Mm,
Africa movement. I just want to have all the audience. We pray
mm,
on this podium. It just happened to really pray for
mm,
the Creator, and but I'm not gonna define that. We're just wishing well. Just put it this way: wishing well for somebody
mm,
that has been sick, because the well of our being. If
yeah.
you decipher it to be religion,
Mm,
it's your choice. When we
mm.
say amen, I think it's in the general sense, it's an amen. Okay, let it be.
Let
Just
it be. It
so
is so.
we're not gonna be entertaining religion. In fact, religion should be something personal to everybody on the audience because it's your personal preference. I
Mm,
cannot enforce anything. If I have the magic wand and I understand about religion, then I'll let you know.
mm,
That's when
mm,
I'm going to send my magic wand, right? But it doesn't happen because to begin with, I don't want to create it. Everybody's free to think of whatever they want to think when it
mm,
comes to religion. So
mm,
I don't even dream of just putting that word in people. And
mm,
it's one thing that you have to understand that when we are created, we're all created equally. It's just
mm,
our social fabric and our social thinking that divides us. We create
mm,
so many things to divide us rather than unity, give us
mm,
unity. So if you really think about your religion is better than the other one, I think right there the basics is not going to be achieved
mm,
because you're already biased. And later
mm,
on, you're going to come down again of tribalism. Later on, you're going to come with the different other scenarios that divides us. This is not what One Africa is about. One
mm,
Africa is about to get to know each other and how to better our lives in Africa and for all Africans and anywhere in the world. When you're African, I
mm,
question anything, any harm that happens to you, I question as an
mm,
African. We stand together. Forget the religion because religion, again, is personal. Okay? You do it, you don't do it, it doesn't matter. I invite anybody else that comes who wants to pray in Buddhism and you want to pray in Hinduism, whatever that you want to pray with, we respect each other's religion. That's
mm,
where the bottom line when it comes to religion. And you're being African, your DNA tells your DNA is going to say African. It's not going to say you're this and that and this. And it's in fact nowadays they're becoming a very deep on defining Africans. So uh, yesterday we had other conversation, not just the religion, but what we want for Africa, right? How we see Africa. Zenuti, you already made a great comment yesterday, and your comment and your speech was very, very down to the point. And we want to keep it that way. Everybody that's going to comment, let's focus on Africa. A lot of people forget, and not forget, but actually we've been challenged yesterday on what we stand as a mission. And in fact, we put the mission statement. So let's not hang up on the religion issue, tribal issue. Our move now is how we're going to unite this huge continent, not the continent that you've been told in your geography class, but this continent is so huge, so huge. Every nation, in order to have unity, every nation has to proclaim that they are African. They would say, I'm Ethiopian, I'm Kenyan, I'm Tanzanian, I'm Nigerian, but it doesn't matter. You're African. This is where our roadmap is one Africa. And that one Africa doesn't define any religion. That one Africa doesn't define individual desire. All that is exceptions. We got a lot of exceptions. That's why on the Constitution they put a lot of amendments in order to be inclusive, all people inclusive. And if we can, and to have a movement on this one Africa, we all have to be 100% that you are African, that you have a pure desire to make sure that you're on fire to get the African citizens and Africans in diasporas, Africans that are different part of the world to be one. That's what you need to promote. Start with yourself. You're accountable. You're accountable as an African, and you see things happening in Africa. Each of us are accountable. What are we going to do about it? Like I said, love your sisters, respect your sisters, do not abuse your sisters because you know what? These are the future mothers. That's why I put that in there. We talked about women yesterday to empower them. They have certain balance, certain things that males don't see. That's why we need the balance. We have a lot of work to do instead of being stuck on, oh, he said that, and then you start splitting hair, and you're gonna, oh, this is the way I understand this. It's very easy. One African, it means you are an African that's accountable for every brother and sister that's gonna happen. You're gonna have the share. You saw it and you do nothing about it, or attempt to do anything about it, maybe pray about it, something. We are accountable for being Africans toward other African brothers and sisters that are suffering in the world. This is the understanding that our oneness, it takes a lot of work, a lot of love. When we say love, it's more than anything else in this world. That's what we're being taught, to love one another. I know each individual being in love with something, and that love right there is high. That love that you have is the replication of being one in this world. We're all connected to what is being created around you. The trees, the air, the waters, all that, we are interconnected. There's bigger things to discuss about. So I'll leave the religion part to be personal and keep it personal, because we can debate all night, all day. It's going to take about 1,000 years. We're still not going to agree about that. But for us as an African, we got to be responsible as being brothers and sisters and care for one another to the basics. Let's get to the basics. Our health care, our being is that we have the rights and to be heard. All that, our own media. There's a lot of work. So let's be honest to each other, brutally honest, like Mika said it, and let's have our world, that one Africanism. It doesn't matter whether you're united this year or not, but if you're going to work on it every day as we do in here. And I really appreciate all the commentators that commenting, and there's a lot of strong point that are coming across. And like I said, I don't want gazillion people to be joining us just for the gazillion point. It's just we want to have a good foundation and strive for a better Africa and for better African protection throughout the
Mm.
world. They've been abused. They've been abused. So within and out ourselves, we got to think of all Africans. All Africans are inclusive in One Africa movement. And that's what I try to put power to it. I just want to make sure that everybody understand what our movement is. There's a lot of things. I mean, oh my God, if you really think about how many things we got to do in through the programs and everything, it's a lot. It's just we cannot afford losing time on religion aspect of it, tribalism aspect of it. We're just gonna have to move on, and anything that comes in the funnel and agree, you attach to it to a better progress, and we will have a word to say to the world, not just Africa, to the world, what we stand for as being one Africans. All this no more movement, yes, it's part of the movement. We say no more to being abused to begin with. I cannot afford to see another African being abused any part of the world. No more to that. So what are we going to do in order to keep our Africans, brothers and sisters, stay home within the continent? We have to teach. We have to get involved. We need to get engaged. My life is your life. Like you said, you drink that water. It is. And one day it's going to be over. I don't want to be just like Picasso. I want to see it happening when I'm alive.
Mm.
When artists die, that's when his portraits and all that artistry gets seen. A president dies. Everything that he really looked for, one unity of Africa, that's when
Mm.
you see it. Let's praise each other while we are alive and be very fruitful. Let's contribute, even your 0.99%, even if it is not 1%. I
Mm.
know we have that. I know we have that power. You're not rated to 0.91. I know you are more than that. Show your being African. Don't be scared. A lot of forefathers died for this independence. A lot of people died for Pan Africanism. Respect that, so they didn't die in vain. We talk a lot of good leaders that really want to promote Pan Africanism, and they die for different reasons. But at the same time, we got to think about them, that they did not die in vain. Especially for those that's been assassinated, for those that's been put in different places. It's just the flesh, but their lives, their soul, live eternity because they reside within our hearts. Look at the musicians like reggae, Bob Marley. He always resonates. He never gets old. We have other brothers that had the true heart, singing about African being one. They didn't die. They still live forever. But let us be together with no divide, no tribal divide, no religion divide. Let's be one, just because we're just human beings, and that specifically we're Africans. Our culture is beautiful. Our way that been raised. I can go across Africa. They're basically the same. Respect the elderly. Respect one another. And all that is across Africa. We have a good foundation. It's just other fabric try to destroy it. So let's be one. Let's think as one. Anything happen to Mika? I know how you all feel because he's a true brother that wants to get this to another level. We got 100 days. We're going to achieve something. And whatever that we achieve, that's our trampoline. We'll move on to the next. And that puts us on the next quarter, the next quarter, the next quarter. So let's work together. Let's put our effort together. Let's assign what we can do for one another. And Mika is on the right path. He's in Ethiopia right now. He's looking at a lot of things. He's overwhelmed. My brother, thank you so much, even to stay this late after a whole day that you've been gone. I really appreciate that. So, my brothers and sisters, I really love you. Let's be productive to our oneness and ideas where you want to see Africa in the next 3 quarters that comes in, because this quarter we're working on different things and few things have been released. Please, Mika, also about the registration and stuff like that. And I'll leave it at that. I love you all. Let's keep ourselves in one, that oneness that we're seeking. Everybody on this comment and our subscribers, they subscribe because they believe that we're going in the right directions. And
Mm.
we're going to amass a lot of them that's going to help us. It's not just subscribing, but we need to get involved. All subscribers, you have a duty. You have a duty to Africa. All right, Mika. This is what I have to say today. I pray on this.
Appreciate my brother. Thank you. Wow, I don't have water anymore.
I got to send somebody to Baligoba, man. Get get Mika some water.
It's out there in the fridge.
Right. No problem.
I'll go to get it soon. I'm drinking in what you shared, and It's a blessing to be um, it's a blessing to be alive, and it's a huge blessing to be raised. All of us, we have families, so it's a blessing, even if life might be hard right now and life might be difficult. Or maybe you don't have, family anymore. You don't have parents, you don't have kids, but you came from family. It's the fact that you came and maybe you lost everything, you don't have anything. It's a blessing that you came from that. It's how we look at the world, it's how we see it. Some of us, we see what we are going through right now and we think it's a curse. And some of us, we see where we're coming from. Some of us, we look at the life and all these challenges that we are going through, we say we are cursed. And some of us, we look at just that life and we appreciate that life that is there, because all these struggles that are there are elements of that life, is part of that life. So it's how we see the world. It's how you see the life. It's how I see the life. Our brother here spoken about religion, one of the very sensitive topic in Africa. And that because everybody believe different. And everybody, think that he or they are right. In so many areas, just the same religion, it's one thing that unite people. So many areas we see, and the same thing can be used as an element of dividing people. If people, they don't use their brain, the brain. And again, I don't like even using that word. I love using faith, believe, because we all believe in something. And when we go deep down within, we see that we believe on the same thing. We might have different ways of believing it, and that's religion. That's how I define religion. It's how we see it. It's how we see it. And this is what I would say. I am so proud of Africans and human out there, because you guys are brave, you guys are smart, you guys know what you need, you know what you want. If you look at the big picture, if you look at the good side of things that we're having and fights that going on around Africa, simply because people, they have faith on what they're fighting for. They have faith that we're fighting for a good cause. That's what they believe. That's how dangerous belief can be. If you listen to the terrorists, what they talk about, they believe that they're fighting for God. That's what they do believe. It's a faith they have. And they think that action doesn't matter as long as they have that faith. They just need to go ahead and to do it. And faith without action is dead. I pray that God will help us to understand that He don't want us to hate one another. He don't want us to revenge on one another. He don't want us to destroy one another. He built this world, beautiful world. You see here in the background, beautiful world, beautiful universe. And He And he made us to enjoy that. To enjoy that, every bit of it. And I'm seeing that. I'm enjoying every bit of it right now. I'll share with you, a lot of videos are coming. I'm enjoying it. I'm going outside the field. I'm going on the mountain, and tomorrow we're going to another mountain to climb. I'm going there. I'm seeing just peace, quietness. I just hear the breeze, the wind, birds, noises. And you see that, man, this is God. This is what He has given me and all of us to enjoy. If you're stressed with the city noises, you just need to go there and to spend some quiet time, because you realize that, man, this is the world He created, not the one that we manipulate, that not the one that we polluted, but this is it. He wants us to be in a quiet place. Yes, you can be in a place where there's a lot of people, but still can have that quietness in you. That's where He wants us to be. And when you go there, you realize how important peace is. I'm not brainwashed, and sometimes people just believe different, They see things different. It doesn't mean that they're brainwashed. It just means that we need that authentic knowledge. And knowledge. And if you are a follower if you've been following SNN and One Africa for a while, you will know that we put our actions in words. A good example, I'm here right now in Ethiopia. And when I say we, I'm not saying I say we, because I've been sent by One Africa to be here. There's a lot of things we're doing here. Some of them you'll be able to see them, some of them you'll not see them. It's One Africa in action, babe. It's love in action. It's peace in action. It's unity in action. And we are doing it. I'm not here alone. I've been sent. I've been sent. You might see me alone on the videos, but there's a group of people behind it. It's action. You might hear my voice alone on the video, but behind that voice or inside that voice, there's 1,000 and hundreds of voices. They're with that voice. And I want to say this for ending, just to clarify everything, that I choose love above everything, above hatred, above division, above everything. I choose love. It's my choice. I choose love. I choose peace. I choose unity. I choose forgiveness. And forgiving, it doesn't mean that I'm letting you come and step on me. It doesn't mean that I'm letting you exploit me. Forgiving, it doesn't mean that I'm not keeping you accountable. Maybe we might be struggling with the idea of that. But forgiving, it simply means that I choose love. Whatever you've done to me, I still choose love. Whatever you're going to do to me tomorrow, I will still choose love. But it doesn't mean that I'm going to let you exploit me. I'm going to let you step on me. Oh, I'm not going to keep you accountable for what you've done. Doesn't mean that at all. Doesn't mean that. Because if it means that, then forgiveness is stupid. It's being stupid. But it's not. It's not. I remember I read this story when God forgave David for what he has done, the sin he committed, to kill the man and to marry the wife, right? God told him this, that I've forgiven you, but choose these two things, either the baby dies or another choice that I don't remember. So there was still a punishment for the sin that he committed. There's still a consequences for whatever that you're gonna do. Whatever you do, there will be a consequences. Forgiveness, it doesn't mean that it's taking those consequences away from you. It doesn't mean that. If you stole, if you kill somebody, I forgive you, but you're gonna go to prison. That's the consequences of what you've done. You're gonna stay there for the rest of your life in prison. But I've forgiven you. So people, when we talk about this, they think they understand that is that like, oh, being weak, that, oh, okay. No, that's not it. And if you think that way, then it's different. It's not even the forgiveness that I learn. Again, I'll say this word again. I know, Biggie, you heard that. I'll say this again. And that is not even forgiveness that I learn from what I believe. I'm not even going to use the word religion, but from what I believe, that's not what I learn. I know there is consequences. Like there's action and then there's reaction. So you do action, there will always be a reaction. There will always be consequences. It will always be. It will always happen. It's how it is. It's a principle. It's not gonna change. It's never gonna change. And it's me. I always share this that to forgive is to heal my soul. To forgive is to love myself. I'm loving me. I'm choosing me. You're gonna face consequences. I'm telling you. For instance, if you comment something that is not bringing us unit, it's dividing us, I block a lot of people, but it doesn't mean I don't love them. That's the consequences of what they've done. I'll kick them out of my space because I don't want negativity right here. So it's either you come with your negativity and then you change at the end of the day. If you come and you're being stubborn, you're trying to, I'm going to kick you away. It's our space. It's my space. I'll kick you away. That's the consequences of what you've done, but I love you. It doesn't mean that when I say that I love you, it doesn't mean that, I'll let you beat me. I'll let you beat me inside. I'll let you. You're kidding me? I ain't gonna let that happen. Not on my watch. I'm not gonna let that happen. But I still love you. It's kind of like parents, when we were a kid, we do something wrong. I think this, Biggie, you understand, because you're a parent, you have a babies and they're doing something wrong, you punish them somehow. Kid at that moment, they will think that our dad hates us so much. I used to think, what kind of dad is this? I always share this. I used to think like, oh man, am I adopted? But that was love. He loved me and he wants the best for me. But he whipped me. He did that to me. So I hope we when you're talking about this, sometimes when I talk about this, I sometimes then this might be my bad. I assume that you understand what I mean, right? But sometimes when I have interaction with people, then I realize that, oh, they don't really understand me. That's why even today I came here to explain, to talk about my tribe is African, my tribe is one Africa. And Biggie, he said something amazing, that whatever tribe you are coming from, it's Africa. It is Africa. So I'm not saying anything new, it's there, right? So I realized that sometimes I need to explain things like I'm explaining to a little baby that doesn't know anything. It's very important for me to do that because I might understand something in my mind, but you might not understand or get it. But this is what I mean when I say love one another, because there's only, if you love, then everything is easy to do. If you don't, it's hard to do. It's hard. It's hard. So let's learn. Let's learn. And you know what I do? Even when I go to church or I listen to some stuff, I still spend some time, me myself alone, here reading, praying, realizing, and listening. I still do that because we see things different. We do see things different. I'm not gonna force you guys to see the way I see. No, I'm only gonna share with you what I see. Like I said, I see one African our generation. I only share that. There are few people who will hashtag one African our generation, and there are people that will not see. They'll be like, "Oh, this is ridiculous." They're not, and that's fine. That's okay. But I see. I see. That's like I see. And the same thing goes to all of you guys. If you see, then you see. You cannot force somebody else to see what you see because you see different. You know what I'm saying? And that's why, even in this concept and topic that we've been talking about, that the chief himself he said it's personal because we see differently. We see different, but there's one thing that connects us all. There's one thing that connect us all. One thing. But all of us, we are coming together. We have the point of intersection. And that's what I'm helping you guys to see. That's what I'm praying myself as well to see. Well, guys, I think I've said enough today.
Yeah, one
And
thing that I want to say is that to everybody that's listening, Mika's heart pouring his love, his affection of being one Africa. And I know there's a lot of question that comes in and out. Like a query asking, how you making self reflection. No, it's not just a self reflection. This is the the love of one Africa. Where we headed. At the end of the day, we're looking at every idea that comes into that funnel to have a brighter Africa. He's showing you his passion. He's telling you everything is God in himself. Uh, It's a direction. I think the main key in this question is, do you love yourself? You know, do you understand what love is? Do you understand? I think you understand hatred because from your beginning of your language would become, I hate this. Why you hate it is up to you to find the love out of that hatred.
yeah,
You have to find a way to practice loving it. Everything that you experience in life, it can be bad, sad, whatever that is, try to find the light from it, learn from it. So it won't happen again. What we're trying to do is we don't want to be colonized again at the end of the day, which we are neo-colonized and which we are given our hand for whatever the reason that comes. But I said in my comment, it's like Moses, the Exodus, where it says, the old will pass and the new will be granted the access to the promised land. As an example, again, you're going to live this much life in this earth. We all are assigned, and those of us that are assigned for this one Africa, one Pan-Africanism, here we are in our day right now. We're trying to communicate and get a better Africa. What Mika has shown us is that a true inside feeling, brutally honest, with everything he understands in his nature and how he's been brought up to this mission. Everybody that is on this line, that's listening, I want you to write down your timeline from what you did. You will find where you missed love. You will find where you hated the most time. You will find your own timeline. One thing that we don't do our own self-assessment, but blaming somebody else. Have your own self-assessment. And this is one thing that I'm going to do, my brothers and sisters, is how to teach you how to self-assess and look
mm,
at day by date and where you are and where you are now.
mm,
The now is the one that we are talking.
mm,
And we put in love and peace. It's not a cliche. It used to be cliche, but our love is understood. It's all everybody's heart,
mm,
everybody's heartbeat. Feel the love. The hatred we avoid because we don't have space for hatred right now.
mm,
We don't have space for division right now. We've seen what's going on in our continent. We've seen what's going on to African brothers and sisters in the rest of the world, the way we've been treated, the way we've been taken. This is what we're trying to change. This is what Mika is explaining himself. And he doesn't. He doesn't have to. Because it's all in your DNA, it's all in your blood. Find what you can do for Africans, brothers and sisters. Respect your sisters. That's where you start. See them as the next nurturing mothers of the future of Africa. And I'm talking to all males right now when it comes to the sisters. When you start understanding the person that you have next to you, you care for, that includes your better half, the family she gave you, and the future
mm.
for the nation. This is what makes us Africans. Let's start within ourselves before blaming anybody else. Yeah, the West does this and that because they see the divide and they create more divide because we allow them. But when we start loving each other, when we start our power to stand together, our unity will defy the law of physics. We can fly, and we can fly and be proud of our accomplishment. This is what Mika is trying to. You can see it on his pose. You can see it on his voice. You can feel everything that he has got to pour out for this mission. My brother Mika, I support you 100 billion, trillion time with no
Appreciate,
negative. Keep up the job at hand. Anything you need, you let me know.
appreciate,
I'm your
brother.
big brother. You know that.
Oh yeah.
I'll support you in every advices and everything that you can accomplish to this one mission of One Africa. You came in, you pulled me in, I understood. It's about time that I got to do something about it.
Mm,
And you gave me this platform. I really appreciate you. And there's a lot of people out here that feel the same way. And everybody on this comment really are the one that's supporting you in their words, in their kind words.
mm,
There's so many of you. Let's stand together. The definition of love is to give up your selfless personality, to give it and sacrifice it for somebody else. That's what love is becoming selfless. Give yourself out there. One thing that you change, you might change millions
mm, mm,
in
mm,
a good path.
mm.
So let's keep up this movement. And Mika, we miss you all the time. Whenever you're not here, we see the vlog. We see,
Mm,
and I can see you melting. I mean, just looking at the shorts, I can see you melting away on things that you see that you
mm,
don't. It shows on your face. It's like you're overwhelmed, and
mm,
And I thank all my Ethiopian brothers and sisters that give
Mm,
him all this love, all this care, and welcoming him in your homes and different places. I really thank all Ethiopians that are really putting this effort of Mika being assigned by One Africa and to show us from his point of view, from his way. Sometimes I can see him being overwhelmed, and I know uh,
mm,
it's a lot. You know, he's like mushra. We call it like mushra means like a groom. You know, everybody treating you like a groom and
mm,
making sure that you're taken care of. I can see everybody that are really even talking on the side, on even listening to some of Amarinya words. I mean, they
mm.
just really welcomed you, and I really appreciate it. And keep welcoming him, protect him, love him, pray for him, and everything that you can do to help him to achieve the goal that he's there. Please help him out. I call for all Ethiopians to come together and help Mika. May Xavier bless you all. Those that heard my voice, may Xavier bless you all.
Amen. 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 Oh, Biggie, appreciate you, my brother. Thank you so much um, for your generosity and your voice. That's why you are the voice. And I've seen here a really good question from Sam. I think I'll answer that and then I'll be praying and I'll be going to sleep tomorrow. We need to I need to wake up early in the morning, pretty much 6:30, ready for climbing that mountain. Sam says this. uh, Sam says, Swahili Nation, I understand that love is the emotional state. We need to be in to unite Africans and soften the problem between us. I think the big question is how do we start loving each other? I'll have very simple question. I mean, simple answer to that. Um, for me, I think how we can start loving each other is by thinking about others, thinking about each other a little bit, like more than the way you are doing right now. You might be thinking about me because we are all selfish at some point, you know. But when you think about the other person a little bit more, like the way you think about yourself, like just a little bit more, then I think you'll begin to love someone to that extent. When you think about, oh, what I'm gonna say right now, what is it gonna do to those people? Oh, what I'm gonna do right now, what is it gonna do to those people? Right? When you start thinking about other people, it's a little bit more than the way you think about them right now. I think that's one step towards, that stage, because love is a process, and um it's not just emotional state, it's more than that. As I say, God is love. And when you know that you're loved, then and when you know that you're loved regardless of whatever that you have no choice but to love others. And we have to think about each other a little bit more. You know, we have to extend grace to people who don't look like us, speak like us, act like us a little bit more. We have to stop thinking that we are right and they are wrong. Because when you think about someone a little bit more, then you don't think that you're right. And okay, you might think that you're right, but you don't think that they are wrong, right? When you start doing that, you're judging, and judgment is not love. You see, like it brings all those stages. So we have to consider each other a little bit more. Think about it, just a little bit more, care a little bit more. I think that's the way that it helps me. It helps me to love people. And somebody here asked me that, Mika, do you have enemies? I'll be honest, from my side, I don't have enemies. Me, because it's how I see them. But the way that I see people, anyone who does anything to me, I don't see them as enemies. So of course, Satan, I know devil is my enemy, but I believe that there are people who sees me as their enemy. But me, in my side, I don't see anyone as my enemy. Yeah, I don't see anyone as my enemy. And it's been, like that for a while, because even when, I had some issues with people, I would always go, back and apologize and trying to make a difference from that. So that's another question I was asked there. Anyways, guys, I think I'll stop here for today, and I appreciate Sam. This is really good question. I don't know if I answered your question, but you know, you can see where I'm coming from and what I'm talking about, right? Again, all right. Let me answer this as well, and I'm going to finish this. Somebody here, Ayan Tuwario, says, "Stop talking about God. Focus on how can we unite and be formidable force, bro." I'm not gonna stop talking about God, my brother. All right. You can either leave this space, but I'm not gonna stop talking about that, because the mess. Were you here when I was talking about message and messenger? I'm not gonna talk about that. I'm not gonna stop talking about that. And don't tell me to stop doing anything. All right? I'm not gonna stop talking about that. How many people have been talking about unit? How many people for how long? For ages now. I'm not gonna stop talking about that, because that's me. And maybe you're new here, but if you've been here for a long time, you will understand that this is how it came to pass. I cannot share with you guys everything in person, things that led to what is happening right now. Cannot share because some other things there, it's just not the time to share and to open up about them. It's just not. But I'm not gonna be one of those people who always going back and forth. One of those people who wants to be motivational, and then they know exactly the source of what they're talking about, then but they're not mentioning it. I'm not gonna be one of those people. We have a lot of them out there. I'm not gonna be that kind of person, and you cannot make me that kind of person. You understand? So I'm not gonna stop talking about it. I'm not. That's my stand from the start until the day I leave this world. I'm not gonna stop talking about that. I'm talking about that everywhere. If you go to my social media, I talk about it. The bio, that's what you see there. So some people, they choose not to follow because of that, and that's fine. Some people, that's fine. It's all right. So I'm just not, all right? So yeah, respect that. Um Anyways, as I said, guys, we're going to leave, and I'll stop here. I'll have a word of prayer, and then I'll be getting out of here. This was a very productive session. I know in the midst of everything, there is a message, and there are people who, got that message. And if you didn't get this message, then probably this message was not for you. But out of these 70 people that we still have here right now, there are people who got it. You know what I'm saying? And this message was for them, because you cannot expect everybody to get everything you say. So, um, yeah,
One
there
thing
are.
before we conclude, Mika,
Mm, mm,
one of the thing is a question that came in on your visit in Baligoba, how
mm,
you how you how you been treated, and comment that how much you enjoyed about it, and
mm,
if you can say something about it. I think there are some questions that they want to ask about the food that you've been introduced in
mm,
Ethiopia. If you can
mm,
comment a few things in a way from
mm.
your own personal experience, what did you learn about Ethiopian food?
Food, man. you know, food again. It's a little hard. I gotta be honest. It's a little hard to eat injera, all the time. So I add injera, but I'm not eating all the time, because here in Ethiopia they eat morning, afternoon, and evening, right? And it's a matter of getting used to it. I think it's a matter of time. If you get used to it, then it's very easy to do that. um but I already tried Dorowat and tips before in the past, but I've been eating since I got here. I think today I ate something that you guys you will see maybe in the videos few days to come. It was very interesting. It was very interesting food. It's I forgot the name, but it's kind of like ugali. It's kind of like ugali. Here where I am right now, they eat that a lot. Like you have, it's coming in. Okay, the video will come. You guys, you'll see. But you put butter at the middle of it, and then you eat with little spices, right? Like you eat
You're
together.
talking about gumfo.
Exactly. I'm talking about gumbo. I tried that today for the first time, man. The video's coming very soon. You guys will see, but it was very interesting, thing to test,
Right.
for the first time. Um, yeah, but the food here is amazing. I realized that also, the Ethiopian food they use a lot of oil. There's a lot of oil in the food. And meat, oh, meat, man, is like oh, I'm eating meat, man. I'm just glad that tomorrow I'm going to climb the mountain because meat, man, if you want to eat meat, just come to Ethiopia. We eat a lot of meat, man, my brother. I've been eating meat and I'm like, tomorrow I need to walk, you know, to climb that mountain.
You had
Yeah.
any raw meat yet?
No, 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 no. I haven't had that.
You got to
Um,
try the goat and
mhm.
beef. That's one thing I recommend you if you really try some the raw feed. I mean, it's like sushi. If you're gonna eat sushi, really, something that raw, and this one you really enjoy. You really gonna enjoy it. Don't think
Yeah.
about it being raw. You just put more awazi. So I try that.
Mm,
Especially the goat. Our
mm, mm,
goats is like the tuna in the fish caliber. You know what I
mm.
mean? There's no smell.
Like
There's no
raw
gummy
goat.
taste. Yeah, raw goat.
Wow.
And there are specialty places that they can show you, even for the taste, or you can have it a little bit cooked, and
Mm,
you can taste that. One of the things that I recommend you to taste before you leave. There's, believe me, the Ethiopian dishes vary from region to region, and
mm.
there's a lot of food, veggies all over. How's the veggie? The lentil and shuro,
The veggie. Ah, the veggie is good. I think I haven't tried also everything yet. You
right?
know, because most of the time when we have been going. I think right now I would try a lot because I'm in the countryside. But when I was there, most of the time when you have meeting and all the stuff, you go to different restaurants. You kind of eat Ethiopian food, but it's kind of like combined with it's like modernized somehow. But yeah, and I mean, for raw meat, even in South Korea, they eat raw meat as well. I love sushi. I love like raw fish and all those stuff. So I think it's not gonna be difficult to eat. But the only thing is I cannot really eat strong meat. I can't eat. I'm always having issue with my teeth when I eat strong meat. So it has to be soft. That's the only way for me to eat meat. um so if that raw meat is strong, I mean, I'll try a bite, but afterwards, like, I will have pain for 24 hours. That's how
Mm,
my stuff.
right.
Mm.
I think you good into a little bit of the shuro. You ever tried the shuros?
Shiros, yes, yes. Even today here for dinner, we're
Yeah,
eating that. We had like some shiros, some injera, some tips, and some spaghetti,
right.
Ethiopian made spaghetti, and then you put at the center of injera, and then you put and and then you put some
So
sauce,
how you find that experience?
and then you put tomatoes. You put like everything, and then you eat together. I loved it, man. I loved it. I loved it because it's very similar. How, again, I talk about Korea, how they make their food. Like they mixed up everything, like everything
Right,
together. Right? It's
right,
like Africa with 55 different countries. So they do like that. Like, and then when you eat, man, it's so delicious because you have different testers in one thing. You
right.
know. So yeah.
Did you identify there's different injera in different region?
Oh yes, yes, yeah, definitely. And I mean, sometimes it tastes different. Some of them they look kind of like bright, and some of them they look dark. Um, yeah,
And the taste, the flavor, some of it is soury than the other one.
exactly. Yeah,
Right.
I've tasted that. I've tasted that. It's kind of
That's
hard
how.
for the sour one. It's kind of
Right.
hard, but I can take a bite. So
Right.
they always bring some injera and some bread, right? So I take a bite of injera, like two, three, and then if it's too sour, then I go with the bread as well. So you know, kind of all mixed up together.
Right.
Mm,
That's one thing that about my my aunt-in-law
mm,
did nutrition,
mm,
and one of her thing was about the teff.
mm,
The product that you
mm,
made teff is gluten free. Okay,
mm,
there's no
mm,
gluten to it, and
mm,
she said you eat an injera by itself, there's no
mm,
nutrition to it. Okay,
mm,
the minute you put churro or anything else combined, for
mm,
some reason, that thing becomes everything you need
mm,
for your body.
mm,
It got all the vitamins kicking in, all the ingredients that you need for your body start kicking in, and the injera is also rich in iron, so that's
mm,
one of the thing. And you have calcium and everything. And she did her thesis
mm,
for her doctorate on a different F. There are seven different F product, grains.
mm,
What amazes me is how we got to know those little grains can make a flour. You know what I mean? And I always have that question, and
mm,
I still didn't get the true answers on how Ethiopians ended up in F and how much we enjoy about it. I mean, for me, if I don't eat injera in a week, there's something wrong with me. In fact, I eat all kind of different cookings and stuff. By the
mm,
way, I know over 170 dishes myself, and international dishes, including Ethiopian dishes, Eritrean dishes. But again, when it comes to F, it's something that I always my body requires. At
mm.
least once a week, I have to have it, even though I can have all kind of other
Yeah.
food. How do you find yourself when you are introduced into this variation uh, of food in Ethiopia? How
How
do
do
you
I feel?
see about let's say let me narrow it down. How much
Mm.
gursha you received?
Gurushai.
Yeah,
Gurushai. What is Gurushai again?
gursha, somebody feeding you.
No, yeah, yeah. I received that even yesterday. I mean, when I met one girl,
Mm.
I received that Gurushai like from two different people. I mean, there were two of them, and I was one. And they
Right,
feed. Something my mama used to feed me when I was a little kid. So it was just reminding me of my childhood and that love that I was receiving from my mama.
right,
You trust everything that comes from mama's hand, but
right,
after you live outside in the world and realize that you cannot trust everyone, then you start being
right,
resistant little bit when someone is giving you food.
right.
But yesterday I let myself go and I was like, bring it in.
Yeah, how you felt about it? You see, do you feel that connection with that individual?
Of course, it's
Furthermore,
all love. I almost rejected it because I was like, "Hey, you're not even my girlfriend. You want to feed me?"
Mm,
But it felt love that not everything it has to be, romantically.
mm,
It's a culture, it's a connection that you have with people. That hey, I care for you, you matter, so I'm gonna prepare this amazing dish for you and give it to you. And again, man, this very similar to Korean culture because Korean culture they do the same thing. When you go, you eat together and the same thing, and then they feed you like you feed each other. You make this really big thing, and then you feed each other.
right.
So it was like that's why sometimes I say that, oh, I'm here in Korea. You saw I've made a couple of mistakes in the videos I made before because sometimes it reminds me of that. And it's strange that it's two different countries, one in the Asia, another one in Africa, and there's things in common. It's crazy how that's why we talk about humanity, Africa and and so on. Because even when you go around the world, you find a lot of things in common, but we don't know about each other, and we're divided, and we think just because you don't know about each other. But when you travel, you understand there's so many things in common, even here and outside of Africa. Yeah, it was beautiful, really.
So my last question is going to be,
Mm.
in the tourism industry, how you
Yeah.
promote uh,
Mm.
Ethiopia or any places that you went, and
Mm.
when you promote it, how do you feel uh, when it comes to a country
Mm.
tourism, especially in African continent, because this is the first one that we just send you out for it, and
Mm.
there will be other 54 countries. Let's hope
Mm.
we can who can do
Mm.
all that happening. But at the same
Mm.
time, as we spoke in the early conversation, is to replicate you. Where we
Mm.
cannot be, we can have somebody else to go there. Like Professor Israel, we're trying to get him to travel also back to back. So, how do you think you can promote African tourism?
I'd, man, I think how can we promote that is exactly what we are doing right now. You know what we are doing right now, because we expect um some people to come and to say nice stuff about our countries, foreigners to be specific. And the only thing they say when they get out of here is about how beautiful animals are, and how beautiful nature is, right? um but I think we have that responsibility to see it and introduce. For instance, I'll say this. You might ask yourself, like, why should I go to another country and introduce another country to the world and not mine? Again, we're talking about one Africa, so it makes sense me coming here and doing that. Because today I was having that session on the mountain, actually, and then I was thinking, I was like, I'm actually going to receive a lot of criticism about this, that like, especially from somewhere, that you're not doing this for this and you're doing this for that, like, all the time you'll have something like that. But when we step out there and we talk about ourselves, because there's no powerful story than your own story, when you talk about yourself, right? And it's a time for Africans to talk about themselves, to talk about what we do have, right? To explore the continent and share and put out there. And it's a wonderful feeling. It's a wonderful feeling, someone telling you that, hey Mika, because I've received this, hey Mika, man, I'm so jealous of my own country. I haven't been there for a long time, but I see your videos and I'm like, man, I need to be there. And I'm not even from this region, right? So it's amazing seeing that, oh, you inspire even people from that region to love their country more. I share this before on my stories. One teenager, she was like, hey, because I am Ethiopian teenager, I used to hate my country because of ABCD, but through you I began to love my country again. Through And at that time I was not even here. I was just doing reaction and some stuff. So it's really powerful when we as Africans, we we tour, we as Africans, we introduce, we as African, we put outside there on the map. People will see it and people will be like, even themselves, they are proud of what they do have. So they're coming with that knowledge and expectation, because they want to see, like, a lot of people, they want authentic stories, right? And you can only get from indigenous people, people who are coming from those regions. Yeah. And so it's really beautiful. I just cannot wait to go everywhere and to do this, because you know it's very easy to think that it's just about one place, but man, you'll see me when I go to another country. I'll be crazy about it, because it's Africa and I'm just loving everything I see here. It's beautiful, brother. I don't know if I answer your question, but I feel like I went all over the place. But
No, you did. You actually did. It's just your experience right now in Ethiopia. There's a lot more you're gonna write about. There's a lot more that you have to digest, and a few things that you want to correct in coming days. So it's a lot of pressure on you because everybody in One Africa want to hear a lot about you, on things that you've done and what you really see what's beneficial and what's going to be
Yeah.
uh, to the One African movement and making sure that people understand. There's a lot of things that's happening in the country, and from your mission, you
Mm,
really are putting a lot of things in place, and understand that for all African brothers and sisters that you are welcome in Ethiopia. You showing it, coming from Tanzania, going to Ethiopia, and going through the experience and knowing people. And there's other Africans that also, like a brother that went there and explore Ethiopia. What are you talking about? What war? Whatever. These are the things that
mm,
really puts out there certain things.
mm,
And I really appreciate it, Mika. All the vlogs, all the shorts that you're showing, keep them
mm.
coming. We're asking a lot from you, and
Appreciate.
you're successful to begin with. You're born successful, and
Mm,
you're bringing this to success. I really appreciate you. I really
mm.
thank you so much, for being who you are, what you put on this platform for us. I thank you so much. I don't even have enough thank you for you.
My brother, I appreciate, man. You have thanked me enough, and thank you so much for all the encouragement. It means a lot hearing. Because sometimes we are human being. So sometimes we get tired, sometimes we get disappointed, but it's and this is just in a spirit of brutally honest with one another. But it's always beautiful to see that there are people who are standing with you, praying with you, and just being there, you know, through thick and thin. So I want to appreciate you, my brother, the chief, for that. And in that spirit, I wanna let you to as well to thank God today before we get out of here, and then I'll be going to find my sleep after this.
Definitely.
Okay.
You're on overdrive. You got a long day tomorrow.
Oh yeah, climbing
So,
mountain.
so once in a
Yeah.
while, like everybody says, we want to see your face, and
Mm,
you know, just coming today, we really appreciate it because
my
it's a lot
brother.
of work.
Yes, yes.
Thank you for your time,
Appreciate my
and
brother.
let's pray for our reminder again. Kuku, Kaku,
Mm,
uh,
mm, mm,
Dr. Sadega, Marie Antoinette.
mm.
We conclude this transmission.
Yeah.
Is there any other question you want to review in the comment section?
Oh no, no, no. For now, I
Yeah,
just
we're
wanna,
done.
yeah.
Thank you.
Mm. Yes, Biggie.
Yeah, and there's this question that's bothering me that comes in, and I just want to say,
Mm,
Brhan Abisha is putting a lot of about we're just gonna address it,
mm,
and I think we cannot answer all of the questions. Stop the Amara genocide in Oromia and all that. I think
mm,
we will have a discussion about certain genocide and things that we believe has been happening on a big way. Uh, so, Brhan Avesha, we're not trying to ignore you, but we're trying to get to the subject that is in the title, because there's a lot of issues in Africa, a lot, especially in Ethiopia. And yes, we got issues that needs to be addressed, but right now this is not the time that we can talk about. And I know there's a lot of concern that you putting out there, and believe me, these are concerns. Like I said, if you raise your arm against another African, that means you're African too. I'm going to question it, and we're going to question the right authorities on what they're going to be doing about it, because it's true there's things that's happening, and we're just going to keep everybody accountable for it. So, Brahana Abisha, uh, it's not about when, we're going to be doing it. It's how we're going to do it and how we're going to handle it within ourselves, and question the right authorities on how we can pressure them and make sure they get you the answers. And I think as everybody else, we got issues in Saudi Arabia, we got issues all over the world about when it comes to the Ethiopian issues. And right now, the things that we have in a big way between TPLF and the Ethiopian military, there's a lot of issues. We cannot put them all in this conversation, but I hear you, and the when is a good question to when. We're gonna be putting some a show that's gonna specifically, without blaming one another, that have honest conversation, brutally honest question, but with real evidence. And we're just gonna discuss this on another time. We don't want to ignore your voice, okay? We're not gonna ignore your voice. There's a lot of people that are really affected in regions throughout the world. So I want to conclude it to that level, because yes, we hear you. This is the platform. This is our platform for all Africans to voice themselves. We cannot ignore that. So let's hope, put in prayers that we're gonna do and address this for all African brothers. I mean, Brahan, you're not alone. Okay, there's a lot of African brothers with you, because one life is important for me. One life. I want you to put that in your mind. We get to them, and as we achieve, we're going forward with this. No more hatred. Just making sure that we are living as one. So I just want to address that, Burhan. We hear you. Okay.
Yes. You can go ahead, Biggie. You do it today.
All right, Mika, I'll let you go. Let's do our prayers. May Xavier bless you all, and pray for those that we're losing for the genocide and different things that's happening throughout the world, uh, killing Africans by Africans and Africans by others. So let's pray to that. May Xavier bring the peace upon us. Again, that's all I ask from my Xavier, to guide us in the right direction for one Africa, for one being. We are his creatures. And as he created us, let's all be thankful that we have even the breath to address these questions. A lot of them didn't have the choice, and they're gone, they vanished. And Xavier, for those that are alive, I pray that you keep us alive, healthy, and care for one another. Care for one another. Like I said, one African life matters for me. One African, not the multiple. One. Let's think about that. Xavier bless you all. Mika, I put you under pressure. And at the same time, I pray for Mary Antoinette, for Kaku, my brother, Kuku, and Dr. Zadeka. And all wish you a quick recovery. May he bless you all in your dreams, and you all one Africa brothers and sisters. And I know all your wish will come through with everything you got. And thank you, Xavier. We really appreciate you. We've been blessed to have this conversation. We don't ignore anybody. Nobody's left behind. And for giving us that strength and that energy to pass through all of you, through all the creatures on earth, and giving us the power of forgiveness, of caring for one another, loving your neighbor, loving yourself, love your family, and love above all. One thing that matters for you is to live in peace. May He grant us His peace. I love you all. In the name of Xavier, I bless you all.
Amen. 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 Appreciate Biggie.
One Africa, my brother. Good night.
What One Africa. Xavier bless you.
Amen. Amen, my brother.
All right.
All right. I'll leave you out here. Good night, everybody. And good afternoon or good morning for some of you. It's an afternoon for me.
Bye bye.